Hi there everybody. This is my take on the Peekaboo shirt design that's going around on TikTok right now. A cut shirt with slits in it, and then you just stick a sublimated design in behind, glue it on. I used shoe glue, probably not the best choice. This is my first take on this shirt, and I will be doing some more for sure. Hopefully a little better. Quite a few little boo-boos with this shirt, but it's a learning experience, and it's a rough idea for you to get started if you want to tackle this yourself. If you like my videos, please subscribe. I have a lot of great ideas coming your way that I'm going to be posting. I do a lot of very unique things in the world of sublimation, and if you'd like to follow along with me, I'd invite you to do so. Okay, so today I'm going to have a go at these Peekaboo shirts where there's cut lines in the chest of the shirt or the front of the shirt, and then there's a sublimated graphic inside. So what I have here is a old tank top that I had kicking around here. It's pretty small. Sizing is pretty off on it. I really don't like it that much, so I'm just going to sacrifice it to have a little go at this and see how it's done. So this is what I figure I'm going to need. My tank top, a piece of white polyester that will go inside. What I have here is some bridal satin. My recommendation is that if you're going to do these on a large scale, go to your Canadian Tire. I went to Canadian Tire and they had polyester sheets there, 100% polyester for 20 bucks for a king size set. If I plan on doing these on a larger scale, that's where I'll be going to get my polyester white material. I'm not sure what the equivalent to Canadian Tire is in the United States. I'm not sure if any of your hardware stores sell bid sheets. Probably Walmart. Somewhere that you can get a cheap polyester sheet, because you get an enormous amount of fabric for the price. So I have my shirt. I have my polyester white fabric. I have some shoe glue, should say, and a paintbrush. I have my cutter and my ruler. And I also have my lint roller, which I cleaned some of the lint off of this old shirt that was balled up in the corner. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shirt and I'm going to turn it inside out. Find your side seams. Give it a shake, lay it out. Now let's see how big that is across the armpits. Let's see. That's about 14 inches across the armpits, so that'll fit somebody with about a size 26, 27 chest, which is nobody that I know, but I'm sure they're out there. I'm sure one of my granddaughters it will probably fit. Okay, 28. So that's 14 across. So for the cut lines, I would recommend doing about 60%. So let's figure out what that is. 60% of 14 inches would be, see, 50% would be 7. So let's say 8, just a rough idea. We're going to go 8 inches across with our cut lines. So what we're going to do next is fold this shirt in half. And because our cut lines are going to be 8 inches, we're going to make each cut line 4 inches double layered. So let's just find our seams, match them up on each side, do the same up here at the top. Find your seam, match them up, give it a little shake to make sure you got all the wrinkles out of it. And this is your front of your shirt, I think. Yes, it is. No, this is the back. Sorry. This is the front here. So, shake the other side. There's your front. Just double check, make sure. Our tag is on the back here. So this is the front. So what we're going to do is going to be, I'm going to start at about the underarm seam, which is right here. Now, I said 8 inches, so that would be 4 inches. So I'm just going to line this up. I'm going to start at 16. And I'm going to cut that into the 12 mark, roughly. Doesn't have to be exact. So this cutter is pretty old. I'm not sure if it's going to do what it needs to do, but yep, did it. So now I'm going to make these lines 3/4 of an inch. I'm not sure how many I'm going to do. I'll just play it by ear and we'll see. So 16 down to your 12. 1, 2, 3, 3/4. Do it again. Sorry if I'm breathing awful hard. I just quit smoking a couple months ago and my lungs are still clearing up, but I still have a little trouble breathing sometimes. But I'm quit smoking, so that's the main thing. Okay. So we got 1, 2, 3. We're going to do like 6 of these. And they don't have to be exactly perfect. But that's 4. 5, 6. So you can see now you got your cuts in your shirt. So we're going to turn it right side out just to have a look and see what the cuts are going to look like. Oh yeah, pretty cool. I think once that's washed, these will all curl up pretty good. I'm pretty sure they will actually. So now that we got our cuts, next thing is we're going to figure out how big we got to make this little square fabric. I just want to see what it's going to look like with the white behind it. Pretty clumsy. Okay, so let's turn this inside out again. We're going to figure out how big we need to have that piece of fabric. So we want to have it the size of the cut plus about 1/2 inch or so on either side. So let's see what we got here. Should be about 8 inches. Say 9 on this side. I don't know how that happened. So we're going to make the fabric 10.5 inches by 7 inches. That should do it. We're just going to lay this aside. 10.5. Let's see. Let's get rid of this piece of garbage fabric here. It doesn't have to be perfect, like I said. The beauty about these kind of things is that they're one of a kind. So each and every one doesn't have to be identical. And the customer won't complain because they're getting a one of a kind item. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know why my light keeps going out here. Let's try this again. Okay. Ten by 7. Here we have it. Okay, this end is a little off here. So let's see what we got. 10. Let's just even this up a little bit. There. That's as close as we need to have it. 10 by 7. Little squish. That's okay. So what I've done here is I've got a file open up here. I created it at 10 inches wide by 7 inches high. I went to my favorite place to get graphics, Vecteezy, which I'm a member of. I pay, I think it's roughly $19 Canadian a month, and I can get as many vector graphics as I want, whatever's there, and I can reuse them however I like. So I've grabbed a picture of a red rose here, and I placed it onto a black background. So I'm just going to print that out now, and then we'll sublimate it and attach it to our shirt. Hopefully it'll work out good. Normally I use A3 paper, which is not quite 11 by 19, but it's I think it's like 11 by, close to 11 by 17. I'm just going to drag that up here so I can reuse the bottom part of the paper. I get all my paper and ink through China. I'll post a link where you can order yours in the description below. Very easy process. Or if you like, you can contact me directly and I can broker a deal for you. It says here 4 copies. I don't want 4 copies. Just want print. Okay, we're going to print that off and then we'll sublimate it. So I got my print of the rose now, and I'm just going to sublimate it onto that bridal satin. So I got my piece of bridal satin here, and I have my print. Trying to decide whether I should use the shiny side of the satin or the back side, which is not so shiny. And I'm thinking because it's a girly type of thing, I'm going to use the shiny side. And in the future, if I do any more, if I'm doing them for little boys or for a man, I will use the not so shiny side. Hang on, I found my tape. I'll tape that down and flip her over. Now I sublimate everything pretty much. There's only a few exceptions. Pretty much anything fabric I do at 400 to 405 degrees for 20 to 30 seconds. I don't have any real set rules on that, but that's roughly what I do. So I got this tape down now. I'm just going to flip it over. Hopefully the last thing I pressed, I had good hard pressure. I can't remember, but we'll see. So this is newsprint I'm using here. I live in a town called Cornerbrook, Newfoundland, where we have a paper mill. And I have some great friends that can get me little end pieces off the newsprint rolls. And it works perfectly for sublimation. So I just adjusted that pressure down again. So here it goes. Let's see what happens. There, perfect. So we're just going to wait for the 30 seconds I had it set for. Excuse the dust on top of my press. This place can get pretty messy on times. Okay, we're just about there. Alrighty. Okay, let's open her up and see what we got here. Beautiful. Got a beautiful rose on black shiny bridal satin. So let's haul this tape off here now. We're going to get a little bit of fraying around the edges because I didn't serge it. If you use like a jersey material, you won't have to worry about that, but it will roll up. But with the glue that I'm going to use now to attach this to the shirt, it should be fine, and the glue will keep it from fraying. So let's get her done. So again, we're going to work from the inside out, because we got to glue this piece face down onto the inside of the shirt on the fray edges. And see how we're going to do this. This is my first try at this, so bear with me. We'll get her. Looks like little sparkles all over the shirt. I do not know where that came from. Okay. So what I got to do this with is called shoe glue. I don't know if you guys get that where you're at. I heard people talking about E6000 glue. I looked for that, but I couldn't find any here. We're in Newfoundland, which is a little island in the middle of North Atlantic, just off the coast of the rest of Canada. And sometimes stuff is not as easy to get as it is everywhere else. So I'm just going to use a little piece of old tape that I had here, and I'm going to put a bit of this glue out onto the tape. I'll try not to use too much. I don't know how much I need to use, but we'll just wing it and see. So I'm going to start with the top layer. And I'm going to put a little bit along the edge here. I'm going to get an old piece of paper to do this on so that I don't mess anything up. Okay, so I just want a little tiny bit of this glue along the top edge here. So I'm going to use a paintbrush. This glue is really thick. It's designed to repair rubber boots and stuff like that. So I'm just going to give it a little smear across the top here. And you don't need to get it all, but it's nice to get the edges because it'll keep it from fraying. Now, one thing about this shoe glue, once it's set up, it's never coming off. It's like a rubberized compound. I'm not sure if this is the best thing to be doing this with, but it's the only thing I can find right now. But I will be ordering some of that E6000. I think that's what it's called. Okay, let's try that much. And we'll put that up here, just at the top of the fray line. And we'll give it a little press down. I'm going to use the edge of my paintbrush. Okay. I'm going to give it a couple dabs in the corners too. Glue is so thick. Like I said, this is probably not the best thing to use. Next time I might try that Gorilla Glue. I think it's a little thinner. And I might actually serge around these blanks first. But either way, I'll trim these up. Now this is sticking on pretty good. Oh, that's a little too much. I think I fooled that up. But anyway, it's just for demonstration purposes. It's just a learning experience for me, so. Okay. I think we got her. So we're going to leave that dry for a few minutes. I'm not sure how long it takes it to dry. I've only ever used it to fix rubber boots. And I will be giving this a little trim afterwards to get rid of those frayed edges. So here's the finished product. This is what it looks like. I did use a little bit too much glue. You can see kind of little wet spots here, but hopefully when that dries it'll disappear. Probably won't, but at least I'll know for the next time. And like I said, I'll be using a little bit easier to work with glue from now on. Probably that E6000. I might be able to order that on Amazon somewhere. And there you go. This is a lady's shirt with a rose in a peekaboo design. I don't know if that's what they're called or not, peekaboo shirts, but that's what I'm calling them. Oh, that's cute. Give this to one of my grandkids. Thanks for watching.